Unbelievable.
Today on the news and why it matters, Joe Biden snaps on an Iowa voter who is asking questions about his son Hunter. Also, Hillary Clinton finally puts to rest the rumors whether or not she's a lesbian. It's Friday. Don't change the channel. It starts right now. Welcome to the news and why it matters. I am Sarah Gonzalez, today joined by Stu Bergier, Pat Gray, and Jason Buttrell. Thank you. Just point at the camera.
This is better than the
What a nerd. Hey, got a lot to get into. First, we want to thank our sponsor, realestateagentsitrust.com. So I have shared before in recent shows, we just had an experience, a personal experience with realestateagentsitrust.com, and it was just as Glenn always advertises it is. We went to the website, realestateagentsitrust.com, which I don't think could be any longer. Real estate agents, say that 3 times fast. realestateagentsitrust.com, filled out the little form where you fill out your name and your information and your zip code, and we had a real estate agent in our area call us within 10 minutes. And by the way, it was 8 o'clock at night, so they're always working. Glenn's team has already vetted all of these real estate agents that work with them to make sure that these are the top real estate agents in the area. These are the ones who do it full time. They are going to be the ones who are going to get you the most for your money. They are going to know where you and your family want to be located, because oftentimes they're viewers, they're fans of the show, so they share your values. You can go to, like I said, realestateagentsitrust.com. Fill out the form. They've got them all over the country, so they likely have one where you are located or where you are moving to. realestateagentsitrust.com. So Joe Biden, man, he has had, I'd say a rough couple weeks, but I feel like it's been a rough couple months.
Campaign.
A rough since he got into the campaign.
He's had a rough life, man.
Yeah, he really has.
Honestly.
He really has. He got really, really upset. Why is this on the table? I just realized this is my Elizabeth Warren outfit that ended up on the table somehow. You got really upset Thursday morning with an Iowa man who, by the way, identified himself as, he said, I don't like Trump, I'm a Democrat voter. He is Joe Biden's, he's a constituent in Iowa. He asked Joe Biden about his son Hunter and his questionable appointment to the board of directors of Burisma, the Ukrainian energy company that, you know, we here at BlazeTV keep talking about and no one else is. Here is the exchange. Watch.
Question I want you to answer. We all know Trump has been messing around in Ukraine over there, holding their foreign aid for them to come up saying that we're investigating. We don't know about that. He's roll back what we do for that. But you, on the other hand, sent your son over there, give a job and work for a gas company that he had no experience with, that's nothing.
All true.
In order to get access to the public for the president. So you're selling access to the president just like he is. So
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that. No one has ever.
I see it on the TV.
You see it on the TV. No, I know you do. And by the way, that's why I'm not sedentary. I get up and no, let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape line, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. Let's take the night exit.
Why are they clapping at that?
Number 2, no one has said my son has done anything wrong, and I did not on any occasion. And no one has ever said it. Not
I
one.
didn't say you were doing anything wrong.
You said I set up my son to work in an oil company.
Oh.
Isn't that what you said? Get your words straight, Jack.
That's
Wow.
what I hear on that on MSNBC.
You don't hear that on MSNBC. You did not hear that at all. What you heard. Look, okay, I'm not going to get in an argument with you, man.
So late.
Well, yeah, you do, but look, fat, look, here's the deal.
Look, fat, look.
Here's the deal.
That's crazy.
You looks like you don't have any more backbone than Trump does.
That's great stuff.
I mean,
when
there's
he
a lot
says,
to get
"Look,
into
fat
there.
Look, that is.
You could give him the benefit of the doubt on that if he hadn't made a sly comment
Oh, my gosh.
previously
Multiple.
about being sedentary.
It's way worse.
And push-ups.
It's
and
way
going
worse
for
in
a run.
context. When you put it in context, it's cut and dry.
He's out of control in that moment.
Did you notice? This is the first time I've seen it multiple times today now, and this is the first time I've noticed when they're talking about TV. He says, obviously, you've seen it on TV. I'm not sedentary like you. He was going to say,
You're fat.
you're obviously a fat
Fat.
pig, and you just sit on your couch and watch TV all day.
You're sedentary.
Wow.
Bare minimum.
The only thing that, if I'm going to analyze this completely objectively, is that, and I think,
Boring.
I know, right? But I think that what probably piqued Joe Biden's interest on that, or really set him off, was when he heard the words, "You sent your son."
Yeah.
Because we have no evidence of that.
It's the only thing there that he
Everything
says
else he
incorrect.
said was true and accurate.
He didn't. Honestly, I think most likely Biden would have preferred that Hunter not take that job at Burisma. I mean, it's like it really has caused lots of problems for him. I don't think he sent him there like, "You got to go to Burisma and I'll do this."
Right.
But when the circumstances came together, can you take advantage of that if you're the Vice President of the United States? I mean, the answer to that is yes.
We know that he had some reservations about it. We've heard there was a quote, I can't remember in which article, where he was
a
like,
New
"Are
Yorker.
you sure you know what you're doing with this?" So he knew there was the appearance of corruption on this.
Yeah.
The State Department, including George Kent, knew there was the appearance of corruption on this. But the guy's was also right, where he's like, "I'm not saying he did anything illegal." Yeah, because in our system, the way it's kind of jacked up right now, it's not illegal. It's absolutely corrupt, though. And you definitely don't want the next president of the United States to be enabling more of this going forward.
Well, I also love when he makes sure to say, well, my son has not done anything wrong.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, aside from, like the cocaine
Yeah.
and the whole shacking up with your brother's widow and being seen at a DC nightclub smoking crack, impregnating a stripper.
When are you going to start listing the bad things he's done? I mean, look, he's had a disastrous. Like he's Kendall from Succession, basically. If you guys, I don't know if anyone watches that, but it's like he's just a disaster, and he's living in this sort of family environment where there's tons and tons of power, and a lot of your bad behavior gets excused and smoothed over. I don't think. Well, I won't say that. It must be a spoiler. But so the point is, look, this is a bad situation, and I do get the sense that his reaction to this is, number one, real anger at someone taking on his kid. It's not. It's. I don't think it's about, well, I'm caught in corruption. It's like,
You don't think it's extra defensive because of some sort of a guilty conscience of what he knows?
I don't. I think he. I'm not saying he's accurate in believing that he did nothing wrong, blah blah blah. But I think he thinks he got skirted all the rules. He didn't have the phone call with Zelensky where he said, "Hey, we need a favor," right? Like he going out of his way to make sure this kind of like you can put together all sorts of pieces of the puzzle, but you don't have the whole puzzle. And so I think he thinks to himself, I'm clear. I know my son is clear on this, except for people guessing. But I think he's actually like legitimately defensive about his kid. That being said, as a politician, that cannot be your position.
Yeah.
You have to get yourself under control. You're in the middle of running to be the leader of the free world, and he's absolutely out of control in that moment. There is no excuse to call someone who might vote for you in a town hall a fatso, which he almost does.
This is interesting to me because the person that's asking this question, who straight up comes out, and he's not a Trump supporter, but I think he's like one of those guys in the middle that they really should be fighting for.
Is he Ken Bone?
This is the
He's Ken Bone.
I forgot about him.
this is the guy that could vote either way. He could be a Republican one election. I think he could be a Democrat another election. It really depends. And he's also the guy that if there's a Senator Warren that gets the nomination, or a Bernie Sanders, he's going to be a Republican.
Well, no, my understanding on him is actually he said he wanted to vote for Warren.
Yeah.
He's going back between Warren and
He
Biden.
said Warren?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not like
he
a
did.
conservative at all. I think he's like, I think he's a Warren supporter who was thinking about Biden and kind of going in there and trying to see what he could find out about him.
That's
Because
crazy.
I had the same thought as you. My first thought when I saw this clip was, this is probably some Republican operative branch type that's going to go in there and try to bring him down, which again happens to every candidate, and you need to be prepared for it. Even if it is someone who's adversarial intentionally, you need to be prepared to go back at that in a way that doesn't make you look like Joe Biden just looked. This is a person who could theoretically vote for him, especially if, I believe afterwards, he even said, if Biden wins the nomination, I'll probably vote for him.
Yeah.
So this is not a guy who hates Biden. It's just like, that's a legitimate question. And it's a legitimate question if you're a Democrat as to how it's going to play to people who are in the middle, the people you're talking about.
I wouldn't exonerate him either on the political anger. I think there's anger because he's been challenged at all. They don't like that.
They're
When
not used to
Democrats
it.
get challenged, they're pissed because nobody challenges them. They don't know how to handle it,
saw that with
and he
Pelosi.
clearly can't.
Yeah, over the last couple of days.
Yep.
Well, another thing that he said that kind of struck me that, gets lost in the conversation, I think, because he's calling a dude fat, was when he said, look, I've been doing this a long time. I know more than everyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Elitist.
right. And Donald Trump, to be fair, has said stuff like that before.
Oh, God, and worse.
But he did get criticized for it,
Right.
largely from the left, and they're just letting this guy go. No one's reeling him in. No one's saying, hey,
and
you
don't-
probably shouldn't be doing the exact same things that we criticize Donald Trump for doing.
It doesn't matter because the similarities between the tribalism and the 2016 election, Trump was right. He could have gone and shot somebody and most of his base wouldn't have cared. Whatever he said, most people did not care because they wanted to win and it did not matter. That's where the Democrats are finding themselves out right now. They don't care what Joe Biden said and all the creepy things he might do. It's not going to matter. I've said this multiple times in the show. He could just go to sleep for the next 2 or 3 months and still cruise the
Probably
election.
should.
Yes.
That would be a really good strategy.
The better it is for him.
And look, to your point here, and there's another side of that, which is, Republicans are not criticizing Trump for doing those things, and they are criticizing Biden for doing those things. The difference, however, is Trump is famous for firing people on television. He's famous for insulting them. That's how he became president. It's part of his character. That's not Biden's character. He's stepping way out in this weird place because he's not in control of his emotions. Now, Trump has never been in control of his emotions. We all know that. It was part of the package with Donald Trump.
Are they trying to build a character of like a fighter because Trump has basically become so popular on
Didn't
that?
seem planned, man. I think that was just his
That wasn't
natural,
calculated.
guttural reaction. I think your point, Pat, is true in that
Yeah.
like he's sick of he doesn't like getting challenged by anybody.
Right.
He feels like maybe it's a plant. I feel like he's someone attacking his kid. He's got a bunch of reasons, but that doesn't matter. These are the people are going to try to antagonize you the entire campaign. And I will say, because you're right. I mean, he's leading that in the national polls. However, he's nowhere near the lead in the first 2 states. So, and right now, Pete Buttigieg leads in Iowa. If he wins Iowa by 10 points, he's probably going to win New Hampshire. He's right there in striking distance. And with the boost from Iowa, he'd probably win there. Then you go to South Carolina, where Biden would be heavily favored. But I mean, you're not rolling to an election if you lose the first 2 states. He may still win those states, but and then he's got Bloomberg after those first 4 states to start dealing with. And Sanders leads in Nevada. So really, of the first 4 states, Joe Biden only leads in one of them right now. He's got a good national polling situation right now, but I don't think he's cruising at the moment. He may very well wind up doing it, but the more of this crap that he pulls, it's not that they care if he's yelling at people and calling them fat. None of these progressives care about this at all. But what they do care about is how other people will see it and whether it will cost them the election.
Yeah. Okay, really quickly. How many push-ups do you think Joe Biden could do if challenged?
I'm going to go a hard 3.
You think he can do 3? I don't even.
Anyone
I think
can
once
do 3.
I'm questioning whether or not he could actually get all the way down to the ground, and then he's going to get stuck. I think that's where I find him.
It's very possible.
Who doesn't want to answer the question?
I don't know.
It's too diplomatic.
No, I'm not at all. I feel like I was thinking like maybe it's more of like a metal bracelet situation. Where you just have it around,
Yes.
I've fallen and I can't get up. It's that moment. I feel like.
What do you
Maybe
think?
about 1.5.
1.5.
Maybe he gets part way up on the second.
For half push-ups.
No.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Does he just gets stuck in the middle and falls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I can see that happening. Back
Breaks
in a
his
minute.
dentures.
Before we get back into the conversation, I want to tell you about Genesis 950. So
Can I ask a question before you get into this?
What?
What exactly do you have me drinking here today? What on earth have you supplied? Natural light strawberry lemonade and drinking beer?
That's what you get from Sarah. You get natural light, regardless.
It's called Natter Days. to be specific, it's Natter
What on
Days.
earth is this? I've never.
You just said it. Strawberry lemonade and beer.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh, man.
It is odd, right?
Oh,
Sounds
go
really
right
good.
now to your local convenience store.
It is very odd.
And when you're picking up some cleaning agents, I mean, it's not, I gotta say, I think I'd rather drink Genesis 950 concentrate.
I don't recommend that.
Okay, all right,
I don't
okay.
recommend that. So what it does is not to drink.
Okay.
It actually is if you have a bunch of carpet stains, pet odors,
What if
or
you dumped an entire thing of strawberry lemonade and beer on your carpet? Would this get it out?
Genesis 950
would.
would certainly get it out. And Pat knows that from personal experience, not from the Natter Day.
No.
But from the
pet
grandkids.
stains, which are really, everybody
Yeah.
knows how hard that is to get out. And especially if you haven't noticed them in a while, then you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Genesis 950 takes it right out.
So
It's the only
don't-
thing I've ever found that does.
You have professional cleaning.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
what's crazy.
and they didn't get it out.
They didn't get it out, but Genesis 950 did.
Yes.
So if you're thinking about like, oh, I need to replace my carpet because of all these stains, don't do that yet. You gotta try Genesis 950. It breaks down the bonds of the stains and the odors. And like Pat said, it's better oftentimes than all the professionals who come in and you spend way too much money and you're left with stains still. Safe for your family and your pets. You can go to genesis950.com. Use promo code BLAZE. You will get a free spray bottle and a discount. Now, it is available at Amazon for those of you who exclusively only shop at Amazon. But if you love us and you want to give us credit when you buy Genesis 950, go to genesis950.com. Use promo code BLAZE. We'll get you a free spray bottle, which you're going to want because it's a giant bottle of concentrate that you need to dilute. And you'll get a discount. Use promo code BLAZE, genesis950.com. All right, back to my natural light and Hillary Clinton. Let's talk Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was on with Howard Stern, which is a really bizarre choice for an interview for Hillary Clinton, I feel. Like if I'm Hillary Clinton and I'm as buttoned up as Hillary Clinton, I don't know that I trust going on Howard Stern.
Interesting, they actually talked about that very thing because Stern said back, he loves Hillary Clinton. He's
Yeah.
a big Hillary fan. And said back in 2008 when she was running against Obama, he wanted to have her on. And then in 2016, again, they tried a big push to try to get her on. She wouldn't come on. And he was like, you lost this because of my people, right? Like my people in Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, people that listened to Stern couldn't relate to her, And should you have come on? And she said, well, I didn't know about that. Of course, I'm sure she did. I didn't know about that, but if I did know, I probably still would not have come on. And her point was kind of like, he's like, because of my reputation.
Yeah.
And it's just understandable. But like, she comes off in this interview way better than she came off in the campaign.
does.
I mean, she should have had Howard Stern with her at every appearance.
Yes.
People might have liked her.
Yeah. So
Sounds like such a setup question, right? Like something they might have discussed beforehand.
Jason, you're such a conspiracy
Like if you really want to make
theorist.
this push and ride it on your white
goodness.
horse, as Biden continues to make these gaffes, these are the people you need to target.
So you're saying that they're doing this
I think it's a high probability.
on purpose
Probability. She's in the middle of selling a book.
Yeah.
We talked about the book for like an hour.
Well, hold on. Also, this completely lost sight of what was truly important with their base, because in this clip that we're about to play, Hillary Clinton is in hot water with the LGBTQ RSTUV crowd. She was talking about her previous relationship before Bill, and she addressed whether or not she had ever been involved in lesbian affairs. Watch.
He looked like a Greek god. He was really handsome.
No kidding. Greek god.
Yeah, he was very attractive.
Well, I don't know. I'd listen to you.
Well, contrary to what you may hear, I actually like men.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's the other thing.
That's the
You're a
other
lesbian.
thing,
Women
right?
friends.
Yeah,
Raise your right hand.
Yeah.
You've never had a lesbian affair.
Never even been tempted. Thank you very much.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you have strong relationships with women, friendships.
I do.
And
I
then,
do.
and guys can pal around all they want, and that doesn't cause
Right,
suspicion.
right,
But
right.
when women do it, all of a sudden there might
but
be something to
Everything
look at.
we do can cause
I mean,
suspicion,
yeah.
apparently.
Or it could just be the pantsuits, or all of the longstanding rumors.
Is she seriously saying that because she has women friends, that's why people think she might have been a lesbian? That's ridiculous.
No, there's been rumors about her and
A long
Uma
time.
for a long time.
I mean, it's sort of the ridiculous position there that they're trying to say, oh, well, I guess women just can't have friends. Yeah, because women don't hang out with other women. That's totally irregular. We're not used to it.
It's very taboo.
Yeah.
It's hard to be seen in public with other women.
You know, because I think she actually got heat for this, right?
Yeah.
Hillary did, because she said,
you're not supposed to have to deny it.
Yeah.
Why would you deny it?
Why would you would say that you've never been attracted or tempted
never been
to have a
tempted, thank you very
lesbian
much.
affair?
Like, it seemed dismissive.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why aren't you? Why aren't you interested in it?
Because she hates.
She hates women.
Yeah, she hates women.
She's a homophobe. That's what I heard.
It was specifically the word tempted that set them off, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yes, you have been tempted. No, it's okay. Some people aren't. I actually thought that was a good moment for Hillary.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, it was actually pretty funny. Because when I heard the quote in the media, I thought, all right, well, Howard being Howard, right, asks a question about lesbians, and she has, but she actually just brought it up out of nowhere. Like, it was kind of a funny moment. Again, like, she actually came off in that interview, because I listened to a lot of it just out of curiosity. Number one, because I was wondering to see if there's any nuggets we could mine for the show. And number two, because Howard Stern is a technician on this stuff. He is so good at pulling these moments out of guests. It's incredible, and it's like a masterclass in interviewing. He's so good at it. He asks questions in certain ways that lead people into just giving information. It's really interesting. But in reality, like, she was much more likable than any other interview I've ever heard her in, and I've probably heard 1,000 Hillary Clinton interviews over the years. Her ability to blow this last campaign by not going to the right states and not doing things like that might actually endear her to voters. I don't know if she realizes how big of a mistake that was. She sort of admitted it in there, but it just shows again that the same culture that they keep constructing is a structure that's going to destroy them. This is liberals eating their own, as Pat always says, and it's incredibly entertaining to watch.
They have created an atmosphere so toxic that not even they can exist in it anymore. I mean, everybody's dying in this atmosphere. Nobody wins.
It's just like Pete Buttigieg and the Salvation Army.
Yes.
It's like, he's not homophobic. He's gay. What more do you want from him to prove that?
I wonder if they'd ask him if he was ever tempted for a straight relationship. He said, no, I was never even tempted. Jeez.
I would be offended.
I would be offended too, for all straights.
I do want to point out, though, that when Howard Stern asked her to raise her right hand and
she
swear,
didn't.
She did not.
Yeah, she didn't.
She did not.
This is a conspiracy theorist over here. Oh my God. All right, back in a minute.
She did kind of lift her hand up at the end.
Yeah, but
it was like
a
this.
wave.
Like more of a,
that was just
a wave. It was not a... 10 and 6.
Before we go into overtime, let's talk a little football. Pat, how was more on trivia?
It was good. It was Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs were picked to win, so we'll see. We're only 6-6 on the year. We need this one.
I'm buying that too.
Yeah,
I'm not in on the Patriots right now.
Really?
Jason, how did you feel about last night's game?
I'm ecstatic. I love it. What are you talking about? You don't like that?
Well, you know what? I said like 3 games ago, I was just like, lose the rest of the season.
Yes.
I don't want you to win another game because Jerry Jones needs no more excuses to keep Jason Garrett around. He should have been gone a long time ago. And if we need to just lose out the rest of the season, then go for it.
Absolutely agreed. And then Jason Garrett can become our poison pill, and we can have him go to the Eagles and be their head coach and save the day.
That's not going to occur, just so you're aware. It was amazing. I mean, like Dallas is trying so hard to give this division to Philadelphia, and Philadelphia's like, no.
They're not taking it. No. We don't have anything to do with that.
And then the Redskins are going to win at 7-9, and we'll all be depressed.
They hate the Cowboys that much that they're going to deny them from giving them the division.
Because they don't trust you. It's like if some neighbor you hate brings over a cake, I'm not eating that.
I see what you're doing
I see
right now.
What you're doing. No.
I mean, how bad can our season be, and you could still be number 1 in the division?
I know.
Eagles are 5-7. If they beat the worst team in the league, arguably the Giants, on Monday night, they will be tied for the division lead. That is pathetic.
Eli's coming out to save the day, though, isn't he?
I know,
Isn't he starting?
To save the day?
Yes.
You know, it's funny, really quickly. My son learned at a very young age, I believe he was like 1.5 or 2, that Eli Manning's real name is actually Crybaby Eli. It's not Eli Manning. We call him in my house Crybaby Eli. So every time he sees him on the television, he says, "Look, it's Crybaby Eli."
I love it.
And it's honestly the best parenting moment that I've ever had.
Yes, I agree.
Don't mean to brag or anything.
Good.
Coming up, multiple House Democrats signal they will vote against impeachment. Don't miss it.